How did you develop your confidence, Jay Waller?
You build it. You absolutely build it, man. You have a job in life as a man. You have to build who you are, whether that's fitness or finance or being competent in whatever field you're in. I'm a big believer, and I don't know if you teach game or not, so no disrespect if you do, but I think game is bullshit. I think it's snake oil. Because if I see a woman that I think is attractive and she is keeping herself in my space, I'll just simply walk up to her and say, hey, sorry to bother you, but it would have bothered me if I would not have come and spoken to you. I would have felt like a coward and I've been upset with myself. My name is Justin. And if a woman is into you, it doesn't matter what you say. And you have to come up to her and say it with confidence, and you'll know immediately. So I don't particularly believe in game, especially on the level that it's sold to young men, because you can teach a young man how to like make a girl feel insecure and want to be closer to you, or say something funny, but it's never gonna last because the man himself is hollow, and he doesn't have what it takes to really believe in what he's saying. And for that reason, I feel like you have to build yourself up, and it takes a little time. But once you become that man, you don't have to fake being anything.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be cute about it.
Hey, this is it's gonna sound like I'm pushing back on you, but it's actually a compliment.
Do it.
I'm gonna tell you what I told one of my best friends who plays in the NBA, 6'9", multimillionaire, married the most famous woman in the world at one point. You know who I'm talking about if you're familiar with this story. And he's telling me, like, he's talking to a bunch of guys out there, like me and like 3 or 4 dudes. And he's like, listen, guys, like, this is how I do my thing, picking up chicks, right? And he's about to lay it on us. And I go, shut the fuck up, okay? Don't teach us anything. You're 6'9", you're a multimillionaire, you were married to Kim Kardashian at one point. Like, save it, homie. Like, go talk to the 5'4" balding dude about what kind of game he needs to learn, because he ain't hollering at this girl. So what I'm saying to you is, yeah, when you're Jay Waller and you're 6'3" and you're good looking and you got a fucking ass like that, right? You're gonna have like immediately women being like, all right, just don't fuck this up, buddy. Don't say anything stupid. Like, as long as you come up and spit game, you're good to go. So your level of confidence is different than, you know, Nick over here, who's 5'5" and is wearing 3-inch lift shoes and is somewhat balding and hasn't made money yet. I don't know anybody named Nick that does that. But so what I'm saying is, like, you don't necessarily need game. You just need to have confidence.
And I'm completely okay with that. But let me preface it with this. There's another version of me who is still 6'3", doesn't own multiple companies. He works in a plant every day. He's 40, 50 pounds overweight. He's let his hair go away because he didn't take care of his body, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
Right? I built this person. And so in all fairness, I deserve to walk up with confidence. And any man who does the same can do the same. He might not be able to get a 10 out of 10 in another country or in Miami, but he can certainly live in Indiana and have the most beautiful girl in his town. And for that reason, I think that a guy putting game in front of building himself is an absolute mistake.
Yeah, I actually appreciate that response. And there's 2 versions. You know, at one point, I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. I've been this way. Like, the whole premise of this entire show, the entire premise is men improving.
Right.
Whether that's money, whether that's relationships, whether that's your network, whether that's your lifestyle, whether that's your looks, whether it's like getting better, faster, stronger, cooler, sexier, healthier, wealthier, the whole thing. And, you know, at one point in my life, I was 235 pounds. I was letting myself go. I would make excuses like, I don't trust any dude over 30 with abs. It's like, and all that was is a reflection on me being like, oh, I'm not willing to put in the work, so I'm just making excuses. So now that I'm 42, I'm like, no, bro, like, I'm dedicating time to do this. I want to compete. We're all competing in a marketplace, whether it's a business marketplace, sexual marketplace. And I think confidence comes from actually putting in the work, like we talked about, whether it's the football stuff or making the calls or doing shows like this. And once you build it up, it's like a snowball effect.
Yeah,
you're going to grow and grow and grow and grow.
It absolutely comes from inside of you, and you're the only person that can build it. And if you don't want the ball in Game 7 of your life, then you need to go look in the mirror and find out what the fuck you're scared of.
I love that.
And go get confident there.
I love
Give
that.
me the fucking rock. If you don't want the ball in every outcome of your life, you are some way scared of something, and you have to go find out what it is, and then you need to go build it. If not, a pickup line is not going to help you, and it certainly will not help you retain her.
It's not going to help you in the long term. It might help you in that moment.
It might get you to. It might get her to sleep with you once, and then it's going to get your fucking heart broke because you were fishing outside of a pond. You were not in that league, bro.
Awesome, bro. Awesome advice. Q, let's go to you for a second. So how did you get your confidence? You're 30, right?
Yes, I'm 30.
Justin's 37, so he's a little more time to marinate, right? How did you develop your confidence?
Oh, man.
The first thing you said, experience. I break that down to practice and preparation. So, and I don't do the game. I agree with you on game. I think it's bullshit to pick up artists, all that.
Snake oil, bro.
Yep, it's bullshit.
Snake oil.
So essentially, what I learned from is not being scared to fail. You need to figure out what it is that you need to improve on. And you do that behind closed doors. And then when you get out in the real world and you apply it, understand that this might not work the first time, but know that you're going to have another opportunity at it. And don't be scared to fail. So make sure you prep whatever it is in any domain, whatever domain you want to pursue in life. Make sure that you prep. You do the research that you need to do. You practice athletics, whatever the case may be. I learned mine from basketball. I played with a lot of the top players, NBA players through high school. I played for one of the top high schools, and I realized that my downfall was my confidence. The fact that I didn't have the confidence to get out there and do what I needed to do on the court to prove that I could play at the level that it later ended up finding out I could play at. Yeah. So it's important to understand that you're going to fail. Not only do you have to have confidence in success, but in failure as well. No, I'm going to fail. I don't care. I'm going to try again. That's where the confidence comes from. And then you'll later start to see the progression. You'll see that progression, and you'll find that confidence with that progression and continue on whatever path that you're on. Yeah. That's the way I see it.
I want to pick on one thing you said. Pick up on one thing you said. You talked about it's okay to fail, right? And like it's kind of how you bounce back from failure. We did a podcast last week with PBD and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Do you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is? One of literally the most famous scientists in the world. I don't know if you can pull him up real quick just to get a visualization. And Pat asked Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said, what are sort of the indicators of success? Like especially graduating high school and college. Like he wasn't a highly sought after scientist. He was literally a male stripper at one point. I swear to God. Neil deGrasse Tyson, does that name ring a bell? Face ring a bell? Yeah. There is right there. And he said, I'll break it down for you. And he's like, well, yeah, obviously grades and scores are important, but there's such a multitude of factors. It's like networking. Like I'd rather have someone be a B+ student or a B student, but get along with everybody and socialize rather than like the valedictorian. And obviously, they talked about nature versus nurture and parenting and everything like that. But to your point, he said, one of the key factors that I would put in the top 3 or 4 is the ability to bounce back from failure. Okay? And, what do they say? Like, fall down 10 times, get up 11. And that's essentially what breeds confidence is like you do stand-up comedy. I used to do stand-up comedy. You played college football. You played basketball. You're in the content creation game. We all know we've had fuck-ups. Yep. We all know how many people fuck up and they're like, look, this just isn't for me.
They give up.
And you just give up. And it's just that ability to bounce back from failure is what kind of creates you. That's what kind of is the dirt and the soil of the person. So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another. Or if you want to watch the entire Soscast, click right here.